Reminisce the times you want to recite in your class or weigh in your suggestions at work. One of your colleagues and classmates may have told you, "Edi wow," or the much more common phrase, "Edi ikaw na magaling." Instead of feeling honored, we feel ashamed because of the sarcastic way of acknowledgement. This embarrassment we experience because of getting the feedback "Edi wow" is what we call smart shaming. Today, this smart shaming goes beyond not only in these environments, but also on social media as memes and comments like this circulate all over the place. However, the question is, how do we deal with the self-depreciative statement of "Eddie Wow" whether you're on social media or physically around communicating with each other? First, let us understand the roots of why smart shaming is happening in our society today. In many aspects, this culture of smart shaming hinders Filipinos' development whether academically, socially, or politically. One example is this hot political issue circulating on social media right now, the return of the Reserve Officers Training Corps or ROTC. Here comes the smart shaming part as a concerned citizen tries to weigh in on suggestions to aid the issue. The first comment appropriately criticized the said program. In summary, the user says that reading comprehension and the educational crisis should be further focused on rather than returning ROTC in law. However, another commenter dismissed the suggestion with "Eddie wow" and added, "Why don't you be the president?" Here, the second commenter not only ridiculed the first comment but also accepted the ROTC program wholeheartedly. In many cases, when one steps up to say things and suggest ideas, Filipinos, instead of having an open mind, reject the criticisms and take it as an offense rather than advice. With this, more often than not, those on the receiving end do not listen and comprehend the issue well. As a result, the problem is not settled, leading society to an unfinished and unwell-thought solution. Based on a study made by the International Student Assessment in 2018, it is true that Filipinos are in a great education crisis because the Philippines ranked the lowest in reading comprehension among 79 participating countries, and perhaps one proof of that is the earlier comment I showed you. Although many factors contribute to Filipinos regressing academic performances and the like, smart shaming can be one of its causes. But another thing contributing to this current problem of Filipinos is their contentment with mediocrity and personal pride. If we analyze the second comment, smart shamers tend to not use any basis or reasonable arguments but solely on their beliefs. They are content with what plan or anything they have in front of them and often do not want to be felt inferior. But perhaps there is an underlying issue that causes the Filipinos to smart shame other than this: their insecurity. Filipinos use this filler as a defense mechanism to hide their ignorance and insecurities. Remember, around a quarter of the Philippines population is below the poverty line, and half of them never finish high school. A clear view that many Filipino folks do lack the proper environment to flourish in intellectual conversations. Possibly, this isn't smart shaming after all, but instead, Filipinos tend to say "Eddie wow" because that's the only response they know to an unfamiliar intellectual topic. So going back, how do we deal with these "Eddie wow"? Well, one way or another, the government can help us decline the smart shaming culture if they have correctly focused on the current state of the education system in the country. However, in our own simple ways as Filipino citizens, we can also help to mitigate this culture through acceptance. Accept that there are just people like this in our lives. Intellectuals, those who have a lot of things to say, should be unbothered by sharing information and the truth. As long as we share is for the good of everyone, then do not let others stop it from being heard. Just continue to make them wow. Secondly, you smart shamers have to accept the reality that we are ignorant of certain aspects of life. Be humble. Everyone is ignorant in some ways. Genuinely admit ignorance and listen to others instead of undermining them with nonsensical mumbo-jumbo of "Eddie wow." Step up and be open. Research the issue you are unaware of, so the next time it comes up again, you are ready to weigh your opinions. And to end this speech, I would like to add a little bit of my own quote inspired by Socrates. A wise man says to himself that he knows nothing, but a fool says to others, "Eddie wow." Filipinos, choose who you want to be, the wise or the fool. Thank you.